Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Salisha. This is Hillside Homesteading. If you're new here, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I'm really trying to get my subscriber count up, so please do that. Now today guys, I wanted to show you something that I'm super excited about. Like, I've never actually bought this much meat, but I wanted to go ahead and bite the bullet and do it now, because we're in Southern Ontario here and the price of beef is absolutely astronomical. It's practically something that only the rich people are going to be able to buy when it all comes down to it, because the price of beef has increased so much in the past 2 years. We went from getting beef for like $3, maybe $4 a pound to now it's up to $6-7 a pound, and that's for like ground beef. That doesn't include steaks or any of the other cuts of meat. So what we did was we're obviously planning on getting a meat cow come spring. Now, if you guys are interested in that, make sure you subscribe, because we're gonna have so much content on raising a single cow for meat. We're gonna be doing that soon. We're just trying to acquire the right cow, the right breed that's gonna be suitable for us. But in the meantime, we obviously need to buy beef, and I'm sick and tired of going to the grocery store and spending my hard-earned money on that beef, and it's not the best quality, and it's just super expensive. So what we did was, we have an old friend that we've known for over 10 years that we've been homesteading when we were just renting a tiny little house. We made friends with him and we've been steady friends for the past while. Now, he raises his own beef, chicken, ducks. He raises all of his own meat. He grows a lot of his own food. He's as self-sufficient, which I don't really believe he can be fully self-sufficient, but he is, providing for himself as much as he can. And I'm super proud of him for being able to do that. He's amazing. So anyway, he raises awesome beef, grass-fed. And this year we actually had the opportunity to go in on some of that beef that he was going to process. He's also a butcher, so he knows exactly how to process the meat. So now that we have the meat, I wanted to show you guys exactly what we got. We did end up spending $6 a pound, but that's for the entire thing. That's not just for ground beef. We got amazing T-bone steaks, we got roasts, we got so much meat, guys. We almost filled up our freezer, and I wanted to show you guys that, because that's another way that if you're not able to have livestock yourself, which a lot of us aren't, and a lot of us just aren't invested that much into having livestock, you definitely can provide for your family through other people. You don't have to provide everything yourself. Sufficient with each other, not necessarily self-sufficient. We're just all helping each other out to make sure that we can provide for our family as much as we can. We went in on one leg from the cow. We got a bunch of steaks and roasts and ground beef and all the different cuts that we could possibly want. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what we got here. And that is another way for you guys to think about, like, hey, if I can't get a cow and I really don't want to spend grocery store prices for beef, well then, there are a lot of people around who are, excellent butchers. They're raising their own beef. You can simply just ask a friend or a neighbor or some butcher or another homesteader or another farmer where you can find meat, and guarantee you they will know where to find it. And a lot of times you can go in on half, you can go in on just a quarter, you can go in on whatever you can afford at the time, and that's a great way for you to, number one, save money, but also eat quality meat that you can't necessarily grow yourself, but someone else can do it for you, and then you just pay for whatever it is you want. So that is excellent. Let's go check out what I got right now. Before we do that though, I just wanted to show you my little banana plants here. I bought this banana here at the garden center near me, and then it put out a little baby. Bananas will duplicate themselves quite easily when they're healthy. Right now we're not getting that much sun, obviously, so I do have a little grow light right there that's going to keep the bananas hopefully alive throughout the winter. During the summertime, they are absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to get them back out there in the summer. But I just wanted to show you guys quickly that I just can't stop growing even in the middle of winter. All right guys, so I'm here in my deep freezer, and this is the beef that we bought. Now we have some soup bones here. We have a whole bunch of round steaks. We have roasts, rib steak, have sirloin roasts. Lots of roast for making some delicious roast beef. T-bone steaks. Some more rib steaks. And then this here is the hamburger meat. So I have a KitchenAid with the attachment that I can make my own ground beef. So this is going to be awesome ground beef to make hamburgers and things like that. So I have a bunch of these. I have so many steaks, which is the most expensive part of this is probably the steaks. We do have a lot of roasts. We have some soup bones. We've got some ribs. And my freezer is half full. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these little trays here full of the beef. So guys, if you're not able to raise your own meat, you don't have to. Just make friends, ask around, ask the farmers, ask the homesteaders near you, and you can go in and save yourself and your family tons of money by going in on some of their livestock when it's time for butchering, and you can save yourself tons of money and get some really, really good quality grass-fed beef. So I thought I would give you guys just a quick little preview of my little container veggies I have growing in here. You can see radishes. You can see how they're actually doing really well. Today is not a bad day. It's kind of warm, but I did go ahead and put wood chips in here to try and keep them a little bit warmer and just hold some of that heat in for them. This pot is doing all right as well, but you can see I covered them up with quite a bit of wood chips. It is helping though. I think I found the culprit as to who was digging in my containers here, and it's definitely my kitty friend who's been coming around. Right here I have the turnips, and I feel like they're the ones growing the slowest. They're just putting out their true leaves now. The radishes and the beetroots are actually doing a lot better than the turnips, but I feel like once the turnips get going, they'll do a lot better. I am actually going to buy a small little greenhouse that you put right up against your house, and I'm gonna move these pots in here, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Hi everyone. Hello ladies. Come on, I have some kitchen scraps for ya. Kitchen scraps, anybody? Come on. Let's go. Kitchen scraps. I'm just gonna throw some of this kitchen scraps here, so every few days I'll collect the kitchen scraps and then I'll just come out and throw it to my hens here, my chickens, fill that all out. I'm gonna go give a couple of these breads to my goats. They like bread. Some old bagels, pizza crust, some fruit. Hi guys. Hello everybody. Would you like some scraps as well? Of course you would. You got a big piece, didn't you, little guy? Look at this chicken. Doesn't even care. I know that's all I got. You're so cute right now. Come here. Come here. Come here, Violet. Boy. Good girl, Violet. Look at you. Absolutely the cutest things ever. I love fluffy goats in the winter. Hi, duckies. How are you ladies doing? Good? Hey, Ampy. Hey, BP. Yes. Oh, you fluffy things. So that's where they sleep, guys. They don't, we did build this goat barn here. It's one of our best builds. But we actually use it for our meat birds. We have it divided in two so that we can keep, you know, 2 different flocks. But we usually use it for the meat birds or for quarantining any animals or anything like that. They do sleep out in these. They're typically used for cattle, but we'll be using one of them for our meat cow when we get that one. That's their hay over there. and some, you know, logs for them to jump and play and have a good old time. And then that is my milk stand that we built just a couple months ago. So we wanted to have everything ready just in case for kidding. Leftover meat bird. We have like 4 of them. Somehow they're hanging in there, guys. They don't usually last too long though, so they probably won't live for too long, but we just let them be. Right, ladies? You can see some of my hens are a little bit younger and some are a little bit older, because we actually got about 15 or so younger hens this past summer when we got an order of our meat birds. We ordered some more of our barred rocks just to replenish the flock and to make sure that we have some nice young birds. And we usually will hatch our own eggs, but we don't have a rooster right now because our rooster was so aggressive we just had to put him in the freezer. So we'll be getting another rooster and then we'll be able to hatch some of our own eggs. But in the meantime, we ordered some barred rocks just to add to the flock. Alright guys, so just to complete my little chicken coop series here, I wanted to just give you guys a quick tour of my chicken coop so that you can see and get some ideas for coops that you might end up building. So my husband and I built this. We built all the buildings here from scratch. This was a jungle when we moved in here. From up there was nothing except bush, trees, shrubs. It was a jungle. So we had to clear cut everything. It took a lot of work. Go back on our old videos, guys, and please check out our old videos. Back then we weren't promoting our channel too much. We just wanted to document our move to our new homestead. So go back and check out what the property looked like so you can get an idea of what this looked like before we were able to do anything on here. So for the coop, we have a nice solid door, and on here we also have a good lock. We do have, see, we have actually a bolt here, the door handle, a latch lock, and then another bolt right there. We wanted to make sure this is so secure that we put all of them, and the best one so far ended up actually being this latch right here, because you can just kind of close the door and lock it, and that's so easy. Trying to do this one just kind of gets tedious. See, it kind of bounces, so we don't really like using these anymore. We love using the little latch hooks like that. So easy, so simple. Now let's get in here and I'll show you what it looks like. Lots and lots of fresh hay or straw or whatever it is you're using. We do have the feed bucket. I only give them 2 scoops of feed a day because I am trying to encourage my hens to free range as much as possible. Those are the nest boxes there, and we have 3 nest boxes. They're accessible from the outside as well, so I don't have to open this and come in here to get my eggs. I do have a little roost that we built in here. This is my Christmas light that I put in here to get them to lay a little bit more. In the winter time, it's not a very harsh light. It takes barely any power at all, so you don't have to worry about your power bill going up or anything. Christmas lights are very, very cost effective. We do have some gaps in here, and those gaps stay open all winter. I know that sounds weird, but we have a method to our madness. So we have the gaps on the ceiling here, and we leave them open because in the winter time, there's absolutely no air coming in. You can actually create too much moisture in the coop, and then when you let your chickens out, if there's too much moisture, they actually will end up getting little water droplets on their little crowns. They might end up getting frost bites or something like that, because any extra moisture is water, and if they get let out in the cold and moisture has been accumulating in the coop, they'll end up getting frost bites. And I did have someone mentioned that her chickens got frostbite, and she was thinking because it's too cold. But that's actually not the reason why they're getting frostbite. It's not because it's too cold, it's because she was heating her chicken coop, so the coop was accumulating a lot of moisture from all that extra heat. And if you don't have like a window or a little crack in there to let in some air, create a lot of frostbite. And that's the reason why I do not heat my coop. I don't want to create any extra moisture or anything like that. So I usually always have a little bit of a gap at the top where the chickens aren't actually going to feel that. It's just going to create nice air circulation and keep that coop very, very well ventilated. I don't want my chickens to be all stuffy and too hot, and then they accumulate way too much moisture on them. And then if you let them out in the winter, well, then that's going to create a situation where they might get frostbite. So again, you don't need to heat your coop. You just need the coop to be well insulated. And then you also have to watch for accumulating moisture, because that's not a good thing. So right here is the nest box, guys. You can see this is where we have the nest box coming out of the coop. So you can see here, and then right here we can access it just by opening this up here. So it's very, very simple the way we did this. See, we just have to open it up, lift it out, eggs are all out, and you can see what I mean by the slantness of the roof. It's not perfectly level, it's actually on a slant, so all of the water comes down, and then when the water comes down, we collect it in that rain barrel there. We do have this little chicken door here. I keep it locked in the winter because when snow and ice accumulates on there, it's extremely hard to close that door up. And unless you're living somewhere that doesn't get too much ice and snow, I would recommend closing up the little chicken door in the wintertime. That just works for me in my situation, so it may not work for you, but that's okay. So that's what we do in the winter, and then we just open up their main door, because that just works a lot better for us. Well guys, my beef that I was able to get, and I'm so excited that we don't have to worry about any more grocery store runs to get expensive beef that's not even grass-fed, that's not been raised humanely. So I am super excited that we were able to secure all of that meat for our family. As for the chicken coop, if you need any advice or any help with yours, just let me know in the comment section. Guys, if you do have any questions about raising chickens or building chicken coops or raising goats or homesteading in general, make sure you leave them in the comment section. I look forward to reading everything you guys have to say and giving you my 2 cents on it. Thank you for joining me for this video, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Stay peaceful. Bye. Now let's watch the chickens eat some bagels. Oh, they found my coffee cup, guys.